जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna and welcome back. Thank you for joining. Today we are discussing verse number 15 of chapter number 2 from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And in the previous verse, the solution prescribed to Arjuna how to overcome the pain he was about to experience by killing his relative was given, and that is to tolerate. So Krishna uses the word titikshava. Titikshava means to tolerate. Tolerate what? Sukha and dukkha. You have to tolerate both of them. And then when you tolerate sukha or dukkha, both of them, what is the benefit of doing that? And or the question can be even asked that why should we even tolerate? So that is answered in verse number 15. So in the verse number 15, the verse goes as Yam hina vyatayante te purusham purusharshabha sama dukha sukham dhiram so amritatvaya kalpate. So translation is, O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. So Krishna is calling Arjuna by a beautiful name, Purusham, Purushar Shabha. So Purusha means men and Rishabha. So Rishabha means king. So, or leader among men. Or best among the Purusha, best among the men, Arjuna. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are not an ordinary man. You have so many achievements to your credits. So now show this real achievement by tolerating. And then what should you tolerate? So Krishna is saying, Sama dukha sukham dhiram. So become a dhira. Dhira means a sober person, which we discussed in chapter number 2, verse number 13. Dhiras tatra na mohyati. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that become a dhira. How to become a dhira? Take equally sama. Sama means equal. Take equally what? Both sukha and dukkha. So over here dukkha and sukha is given. So if you do this, Arjuna, what will happen? So then that's the last line. So amritatvaya kalpate. So liberation, amritattva means liberation. Liberation will become your rightful claim. Because of your equanimity, because you don't get affected by the temporary ups and downs of life. The temporary ups and downs of life are going to come and go, and similarly the happiness and distress of life will come and go. So somebody who is dhira, he will tolerate both of them. So this is a qualification of liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Amritattva means eternality is what you will achieve through this tolerance. So eternal existence is the fruit of this process of tolerance. So how does this work out? So it is a matter of knowing the priorities of life. So if example, if we are going on a road to some place and we decide which road to take, not based on the appearance. If the road looks good, that's not the criteria to take that particular road. But the criteria is based on the destination, where we want to go. So where we want to go is not decided by how the road looks, but it is based on where our road takes us, right? So we can't decide priority based on how it is appearing or its appearance. The way things feel to us may not be the best indication of what they actually are. So the point is that don't be distracted by the temporary changes in situation. The sukha and the dukkha, these are going to be coming in the life, in the phases of life, and it will come and it will go. So do not focus on this ups and downs or happiness or distress. These are all temporary. So therefore we see that Krishna in these three verses, 2.13, he is talking about that the soul is eternal and the body is temporary. So within this, when the soul is experiencing things within this temporary body, so then there will be happiness and distress that are going to come in our way. So what we need to do, that is been discussed in 2.14, that is tolerate, knowing that the changes are going to happen and they are also temporary. That they are temporary in nature, they will come and go. And then in the verse 2.15, somebody who is able to tolerate it and he is steady in both and he is not bewildered in this situation of ups and downs, that person becomes eligible for liberation. So these are the three beautiful verses Krishna tells in sequence, 13, 14 and 15. So now let's see what Srila Prabhupada is discussing in the purport of this verse. So the first point Prabhupada is bringing is the eligibility for liberation. Anyone who is steady in his determination for the advanced stage of spiritual realization and can equally tolerate the onslaught of distress and happiness is certainly a person eligible for liberation. So in this case, Prabhupada is saying that one has to be determined and he should not be wavering when the happiness or distress comes. He should not be distracted by that, but he should be focused in his determination and perform their prescribed duty and at the same time equally tolerate all the happiness or distresses that comes on the way, because the goal is liberation for that person, and in that way the person can achieve liberation. Now there are examples given. This is the best way to understand through the process, by understanding the example. So here the example of tolerance for higher goals of life is given. So in the Varnashram Institute, so Varna Ashram means Varna and Ashrama. So there are 4 Varnas and there are 4 Ashramas. So what are the 4 Ashramas? Grihastha, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. These are the 4 Ashramas. And 4 Varnas are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So this is the Varnashram system. So in the Varnashram institution, the 4th stage of life, namely the renounced order, Sannyasa, is a painstaking situation, because in the sannyasi, you have to give up everything, all the detach from the family connection and then leave the home. So this is not an easy decision to make in life, but the goal is very clear why we are doing it. So when somebody takes sannyas, he knows the purpose of taking sannyas. So even though it is painful, but then one tolerates. So here Prabhupada continues that, but one who is serious about making his life perfect surely adopts the sannyas order of life in spite of all difficulties. The difficulties usually arise from having to sever the family relationship, to give up the connections of the wife and children. So this is not an easy decision to make when somebody is taking sannyas, giving up all the connection with wife and children. But there is a higher goal. The goal is spiritual. So therefore, the person tolerates this severing of the family relationship. But if anyone is able to tolerate such difficulties, surely his path to spiritual realization is complete. So then that person becomes eligible, to move forward in his spiritual journey. So similarly, Prabhupada is talking about that Arjuna need to tolerate the situations that are going to come while performing or while discharging his duties. So similarly, in Arjuna's discharge of duties as Kshatriya, he is advised to persevere even if it is difficult to fight with his family members or similarly beloved persons. So he has to tolerate, and when he tolerates, then he becomes eligible for liberation. So, and then finally the example of Lord Chaitanya is also given. So Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at the age of 24, and his dependents, young wife and as well as the old mother, had no one else to look after them. Yet for the higher cause he took sannyas and was steady in the discharge of his higher duties. So that was the reason Lord Chaitanya took sannyas to help others, actually, to help the society. So that is a way of achieving liberation from material bondage. So the idea in this verse is one needs to tolerate, and when you tolerate things, the ups and downs in life, the happiness and distress, sukha and dukkha, and when somebody tolerates, then that person actually becomes eligible for liberation. So this is the very important point. While we will be practicing our spiritual life, there will be difficulties coming in life. We need to start tolerating it, and the tolerance become easy when our purpose is very clear, when the goal is clear, the center, our focus is on this, the fruit, which is the liberation. So when we look at the goal or the result what we are going to attain, then the tolerance becomes easy. It's like, somebody is trying to win a gold medal in Olympics. So for that 4 or 5 years before the Olympic Games, they prepare. But while preparing, they tolerate all kind of difficulties they come across. They tolerate it because they know that, a time will come I can probably hold the gold medal or the silver medal or any kind of medals. So that is the driving force. So here also, when the devotee is performing his duties, while performing duties, undergoes a lot of turmoils, but tolerates all these things, and then finally can achieve the goal. So these are the points which are discussed in the purports. It has been put in the presentation format, and you can read about it. And we'll continue with the discussion about the science of soul. So now Krishna is going to explain that there are two kinds of nature. One is where the eternity is situated. So he describes that in the next verse. So we'll continue with our discussion in the next session. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanande Haribol.